Have you guys ever had Tinder? Are you on Tinder? What is the Tinder world like? Fun fact, I've never had Tinder in my entire life. I cannot do dating apps, but we are checking out some like Tinder nightmare stories. Honestly, they should be paying for these people's therapy.
So I just unmatched a guy. Well, I tried to, for trying to argue with me about why Law and Order SVU apparently has caused all this anxiety in women about being sexually assaulted by men. Yeah, no, it's not Law and Order's fault. But he wanted to keep on this petty and I wasn't having it, right? So I unmatched him thinking, yeah, that's the last of it. No, he finds me on LinkedIn in order to apologize and saying, we shouldn't have talked about it. And so I told him, I was like, gave him the explanation.
I'm uncomfortable.
Like, no, it's not Law and Order doing that. It's guys not being able to take rejection. That's what scares women.
God.
Yeah. Nah, dude, you're not the best thing I could have ever come across on Tinder.
How'd he handle this rejection? That is quite a conversation to get into. Like, you're just chit-chatting, getting to know each other on Tinder, and like that somehow becomes the conversation. Like, no. But hey, better to know his feelings about that early on. You know what I mean?
So I guess Tinder horror stories are all the rave right now, and I think this one's going to be tough to beat. Okay, so I was talking to this girl for a couple days. We decided to get together, go out and get an appetizer. So I meet her, she looks like her photo's perfect. We sit down, and without me getting a word in, this girl starts going off, telling me about how most of her family members are in mental institutions with schizophrenia. Then she tells me this morbid story about watching her best friend die because he was driving drunk.
That's a mood
Then
killer.
she tells me that if she was to ever get pregnant, that she would keep it if it's a boy, but she wouldn't keep it if it's a girl, because she doesn't want to raise a girl in this society.
Huh.
So at this point, I excuse myself to the washroom, and I'm standing there looking at myself in the mirror, like, bro, like, you should just leave. Just walk
Crawl out the bathroom window.
Like, nope, I invited her out. I'm going to see this through. I'll, like, pay the bill. So I go sit back down, and the food comes, and I've had, like, 2 or 3 bites, and she goes, do you know what eczema is?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's like that rash that people get. She's like, yeah, so I have that on my feet. And I'm like, oh, like...
Leave your feet away from the dinner table.
Whatever, like, not a big deal. People get it. And she's like, want to see? I'm like, no, not really. Like, I'm eating right now. And she pulls out her phone, and she starts showing me photos of the most disgusting, rotten feet I've ever seen.
You guys.
Oh, I'm still so traumatized. Anyway, I'm like, please stop. Like, I don't want to see this right now. And she just, like, keeps putting the phone in my face. Me like, no, look. And at this point, I'm like, this is a prank. Like, somebody has hired her. Maybe she knows one of my exes or something like that. Like, there's no way. But she just wouldn't stop. So anyway, I'd like, get the bill, pay it, and I'm like, it's time to go. So I'm waiting with her for her Uber to come at this point. And now she's, like, trying to come home with me. And I'm like, no. Like, this did not go well. Like, it's time for me to leave.
God. Are new to this channel, you won't know how much I hate feet. I just don't handle feet well. I don't like any feet. I don't even like my own feet. I don't like feet in general. How do you confidently talk about having eczema on your feet and like whipping out pictures of like, that takes some balls. Nothing like an appetizer with a side of eczema feet. Oh, worst famous Tinder date. Oh, spill the frickin' tea here.
I'll set the scene.
Hit us.
It's
what celebrity?
winter break, my senior year of college in 2015. I'm home for the holidays and matched with a guy on Tinder who says, hey, you should come over for a hot tub party. We're staying at this house on the butte with a hot tub. And I'm like, okay, not really my ideal first way to meet someone. Being like in a hot tub seems very like weird and vulnerable. And
sounds
parties
like a dirty
people,
party.
I don't know.
Like everyone in the hot tub.
And so I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then we kept talking, and then he was like, oh, I'm in a band. You should check out my band. And like 90% of the time when people say that, I'm like, yeah. And then I Google the band, and the first thing that pops up is like NPR's like indie bands to watch for that year or something. Like, so then I go tell my mom, who I'm staying with,
who is
and she's like, Cassie, you have to go because we're both like huge like live music groupies.
Indie
and
band?
Like she was just like, think of the story you will always have. Like, no matter how this goes, think of the story you will always have if this band blows up. And so I go, and we're chatting, we're drinking, and then these 2 girls show up. Because it's him and his buddies, and so in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. So, like, his buddies invited girls, too. So these 2 girls show up,
They seem pretty young, not like under 18 young, but like fake ID young, which is like very common in my hometown because there's nothing else to do. And so I was like, oh, cool, are you from around here? And they say yes. And I say, oh, what high school did you go to? And they say, my high school.
Where do you live?
And I was like, oh, neat. What year did you graduate? I'm like freshly 22 years old. So they probably think like, oh, if I say this year, then like this is the year that sounds like I'm the right age to be in bars. And they say, oh, class of 2012. Now, my high school class was like...
I don't care about your high school. No offense.
Like, most of the people I went to high school with, I had been in school with for most of my life.
Okay.
And later I even went and looked and checked in my yearbook. These girls were not in my graduating class. So maybe giving fake names, I don't know.
It seems important. What was that? You didn't give me any tea. Oh my God, that tea water was ice cold. I'm having iced tea. I want a hot tea. Part 2 better have more.
Part 2, I go out to the hot tub. One of the girls is there, and Andrew's 2 buddies are there, but Andrew and the other girl have not appeared. And so we're just kind of chatting and having our beers, and like, I determined that the girls are definitely over 18, but
don't care about the girls.
Look at this girl's talking to me about community college and like all this.
Andrew's with the other girl.
Like 20 minutes to half an hour pass, and I'm finally like, where did Andrew and so-and-so go? I'm confused. And his friends are kind of like, and like have like an awkward chuckle, and I'm like,
with another girl.
This is just like the first time I've been invited on a Tinder date and had my date disappear for this long. And the other girl in the hot tub like spit takes on her beer a little bit. And she says, oh, I'm here with my friend who Andrew invited here on a Tinder date. I'm her wing woman. So me and this girl are looking at each other.
Oh, this is awkward.
And we look at the guys. And I say, so Andrew invited 2 people, like invited himself a buffet of options, and then made a choice.
That's exactly what he did.
And his friends are like mortified and embarrassed, and they're like, we told him it wasn't a good idea. I think it happened on accident. Like, I think he invited you both and didn't think you'd both say you wanted to come. Like, as I'm leaving, I was like, later, Andrew. And he like shouts down the hallway like, bye. And then I get a text from him the next day like, yo, sorry last night got crazy. Let me know if you ever need a tour around Seattle.
Ew!
And yes, this is Andrew Katz from Drum Seat Headrest. Love their band.
Andrew what from Drum? I don't know this band. I was really hoping I would know the band. Do you guys know the band? Honestly, I don't consider that a date though. That's not a date. You're not asking me like to take me out on a date. You're asking me to like, hang out with people. I don't know. That honestly truly could have been in one part, by the way. Storytelling skills, you guys.
So I just have like a ton of bad Tinder experiences, and we're just gonna dive right into that. Went to high school with this guy. I'm not gonna name names. We're just gonna say his name was Chris. Okay, I matched with Chris. It's like a Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the morning. We decide to chill. He comes and picks me up. I get in the car and I'm like, so what's she trying to do? And he was like, wanna go see some puppies? And I was like, wanna go see some
puppies? At 1 a.m.? Or was this 1 p.m.? Thought they said it was 1 a.m.
We go inside. There were there was like, I don't know, like 7 little puppies. They were so cute. We played with them for a little bit, and then eventually he's like, wanna go to my room? I'm like, that's what I came.
I did not jump the gun. I was right.
The bedroom. Tell me why only had a hospital bed and a lamp with no light bulb in his room.
It's his grandma.
Stress.
It's his grandma's bed.
Immediately, I'm like, are you gonna kill me? He was like, no. He told me that it used to be his grandfather's room before he died. And I was like, did he die in this bed? And he said,
I'm gonna throw
up.
Oh my God.
Still hit it though. But regardless, dead grandpa bed. Ah, okay. You ever heard of Lil Dicky? And I was like, what the talking about? And he was like, Lil Dicky. And he brought his phone out and we watched like 45 minutes of Lil Dicky songs. And I was like, that's exactly what I came here for. Turns the phone off and he goes, wanna make out? And I was like, back in high school. Yes, of course. Yes, let's get to it.
As intriguing as that is, because it happened in a hospital bed where a man physically became deceased. I'm gonna pass on finding that part too. I feel sick. I feel physically like nauseous. That's some serial killer shit. That's what that is.
I went on a first date with this Tinder guy, and while we were eating dinner, he was sending pictures of himself to other girls.
Oh, good.
So I matched with this guy.
That's
we were
great.
talking for about a week, and he asked me out on a date, and we decided to FaceTime to see if we were compatible, if we liked each other, and everything was
That's a good idea. FaceTime before going on a date.
fine, and we set up a date. So we meet at Olive Garden, and he's already sitting down when I get there, and I can just tell, like, this is not, like, it's the same person, but his personality is not what I expected. So I sit down, and he's like, hey mama, like, sit your beautiful ass down, ah ha ha. And it's like a year after the ah ha ha
I know
trend,
exactly what you mean.
and I was just getting the icks. Like, straight ick after ick after ick.
Yeah.
And this was not who I talked to on the phone. Like, I don't care if that's your personality, but it's not what I was hoping for. So, this man is on a date with himself. I cannot get one word out.
Oh, there's your first red flag SoundCloud rapper.
I will be right back. So, I'm walking back from the bathroom, and his back is facing me, and I can tell that he's on his phone, and he is receiving pictures from this girl.
Ooh.
And he's like liking all of it, and he's like sending like hot emojis or whatever, and I'm watching, not to be gross, but like watching to see what he does.
Oh girl, I would have watched
And he goes to his camera gallery and has like a whole gallery full of his pictures and just starts sending like a bunch of them and just sending it to her. So I sit down and I don't say anything because I didn't know what to say. Like, I was kind of just processing what just happened. He doesn't even realize that I sat down. He's still on his phone, and as soon as he realizes I was there and I probably saw what he was doing on his phone, he like freaks out and like tries to shut off his phone, sets it down, but his phone never turned off, and it's just a straight picture of his. Yeah. So we
His
kind
wiener?
of just stare at each other for like a good like 5-10 seconds, and I'm just like, are you being for real right now? Like, you're seriously doing this on a date? And
What's
he's
the
like,
point of the date?
Oh, sorry, and then kind of like, but at least you're prepared for what you're about to get tonight. I grab my things, get up without saying a word, and just hysterically laughing because I laugh when I feel uncomfortable. And I'm just walking out of the Olive Garden, just laughing off, and never said a word to him. Locked him in the parking lot. Yeah, don't date Trevor's in Utah.
Ooh, Trevor from Utah. You're sick. Sick. Y'all, I am so happy I've never been on Tinder. Because you know what? I just couldn't do this. Nah. My attitude and my face. I could never control my facial expressions or my attitude. Like, it just would never go well. Anyways, let me know your Tinder horror stories if you have one. I want to know. I'm getting out of here, you guys. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. And good luck if you're on Tinder. Another fun fact, I am filming in my pajamas. Business on the top, party on the bottom. Literally, I think every time I film, I'm in sweatpants or pajama bottoms.